Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know people probably have a hard time with me because I'm here one day and then I'm gone. You know, you never know what I'm gonna do next. I keep them guessing. Yeah, I'm not consistent. I'm consistent in my own life, but I'm just not, I don't follow the rules in this fake world we find ourselves in. I wanna ask you, maybe you can leave it in the comments, but don't, again, this is sarcastic, okay? Because I am sarcastic. You have to be. If you want to try to understand this at all, any of it. But why do these guys that sign up to be a murderer, but as long as you murder under the banksters' authoritarianism, it's okay. Like if they say you can murder these people over in this country, maim these children. And these are the best men in the world, right? They're the best men in America that go into the military or any of the armed forces. Anywhere you get a uniform, a badge, and a gun. They are the cream of the crop, right? So they use all kinds of self-reflection, internal dialogue, morality, when they're kicking in a family's home, for instance, and then just slaughtering, you know, all the children. They've already realized that these are bad, bad people and they cannot be on the earth anymore. And moreover, they have a green light to kill whoever they want. All for America. Isn't that great? Thank you for your service. I've never understood that. Maybe someone can explain it to me. To me, service is something that you provide at no charge. Am I wrong? Why do we call it service when someone says, I served in the military, here's all of my badges and little trinkets and all my bullshit from that evil, maniacal thing in this place. I don't even know what to call it. Death squad. And they're proud of it. Why? You're never protecting anything here. In fact, we saw what my friend, Show Me Baby, stood up for. The open carry movement, the 2A movement, his entire life, from his 20s on until he passed. And we saw nobody come out to support that movement. Nobody. He would have. But he was usually alone. Alone when he went to the hurricanes to help rescue people. And of course his channel is not on YouTube. We took that down. It's like he never existed, right? So that was his whole life, was devoted to the open carry 2A movement. Do not comply. But I mean, I'm sure there's other people that have shown, that stood up, but I didn't really see anything. Maybe I just missed it. That, you know, came out and presented, because, I don't know. Anyway, I don't understand that. I don't understand when people say I served the country with a gun and a badge, you know, for X amount of years. But I got paid the whole time I did it by taxpayer money. See, when I worked as a sales rep for one of my endeavors for about 8 years, I'm really into Excel spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff. I love Excel. I started using it decades ago. And I remember one day I just thought I would figure out how this nominal salary I got was figured out, and the commission. And what I ultimately figured out, of course, is that nobody pays me anything. Every single dollar that I was given back by this company, I had generated. Every single one. And then paid for the other people that do nothing to generate income. And, you know, that's the other thing too. You think you're free in America? If you have a job, which I have most of my life, when you step out of your car and park it in their parking lot, and then you go into their building, now you're under their corporate rules. You can't just do whatever you want. If you're somebody that's supposed to be at a desk for 8 hours a day. You just can't leave and go to lunch or go have a break whenever you want. I mean, of course, some places are more lax than others, but you know what I mean. And they have rules and regulations that you comply with while you're at work. And then when you're driving, if you have a driver's license and registration, you have signed up to adhere to all of the laws in the land. You've literally signed your car over to the state with the registration. This is why they can come and take it off the road if they decide to. They don't like where you parked. This is the reason they can do all the things they're doing to the homeless, because you've given them license to do it. See, in order for people in America to really wake up and understand what's going on, it would be a requirement to be extremely uncomfortable. And I don't think any of them want to go there. They can't really wrap their minds around the time we're living in. And that's why it always has to go to an extreme level. It has to go to the level where the blue hats are on the street. And don't think that, no, it's just, everything is meant to be conflicting and confusing right now so that you don't know which end is up, especially if you look at social media. You'll have a better pulse of what's going on just by looking around your city, going to your grocery store, going to a post office, any number of places of what's really happening than listening to people online. And, like I said a while ago, I found this so interesting because years ago when I started making videos in 2020, it was so weird to me that I would be out on a walk and talk and I hadn't even put the film or the recording that I made on the walk and talk into the computer to edit it and then create a video. And I was already being fed results of what I discussed on the walk and talk in my YouTube stream or any other stream for that matter as a recommendation. And I just thought, wow. And this happened not once, not twice, but all the time. And they literally, if you notice, there's people now saying they read my thoughts. I have a thought and then it comes up. And it's true because we are under surveillance in ways that most people can't comprehend. They want to tell us that, oh, okay, this is wireless, this is 5G. These are all distractions so that we don't really know the nature of this place. It's high level surveillance already. And when they break the skin-blood barrier with their medicine, again, I used this analogy years ago. When you were a kid, did you ever rub your feet on the carpet real fast and touch your brother or sister and it got a spark? That's because we're electrical beings. We're literally like a computer, the hard drive. And don't think they haven't taken advantage of that. See, when they were saying they were installing all the new 5G towers, what was actually happening is they were running and doing tests among the BAN, the body area network. Google it, look it up. Because one thing about the AI God is they are, if you've ever known a sociopath or a real hardcore narcissist, they can't help but brag. That's why all their information is out there for anybody that wants to find it or look at it or read it. But again, it's like, who are you talking to? This is why I go back and forth with social media. And some of it is just to straight up protect my anonymity and, as much as I think I can. And because you have some real disturbed people out there. And if they are people, I don't know. They discovered that there's 50 million bots that were created in Switzerland. That's a lot of what's used. I worked in internet marketing for 7 years, very successfully, when it was all new. And in order to make a channel look successful, you have to have subscribers and you have to have interaction, right? Well, they can do that all automatically without it actually being people. And like I said before, the greed factor, especially in America, is such that when you have, say you're getting 1,000 comments on a channel, who has time to look and read it, all those? Nobody. Especially if it's just a channel you do in part-time. And moreover, you don't care, especially if you monetize. Because as far as, you don't know if it's a person or a bot, nor do you care. Your check is still the same. This is what I was trying to explain. The reason these times are so difficult to discern is Satan will honor you for carrying his narrative, or at the very least, not doing anything to disrupt it. You know, like be a Mr. Beast channel, be any number of things. Talk about, like for me, I think I could have had an entirely different life if I knew the curly hair method when I was growing up. We didn't even have that. We didn't have the internet to go to and go, oh my God, that's what kind of hair I have. That's what's been my problem my whole life. I had C3 curly wavy hair, and my mom didn't know how to manage it. I didn't know how to manage it. I just had this dry mop on top of my head. I didn't know that I just needed to douse it with conditioner and all these different products and squeeze it just right, and I could have the perfect curls. I could have had an entirely different life if I had known that. Now see, Satan loves you talking about these things, these vanity channels that are going to help you understand your hair type. It's 1111 on the timer. And, you know, it's just, I like the internet for different things like that. You know, even with all this knowledge now about my hair, I still don't want my hair curly. I like it straight. I did the curly hair method a couple, I think last week, just to see, because it's actually not easier. It takes way longer, it's way more expensive, and I just don't have that kind of interest or time anymore. I think if you're anything like me, I don't know why we're so into what we look. I guess because we're trying to find a mate and procreate, and it's just natural, you know, to you know, go to the gym, work out. I've always been like into working out. I don't really like gyms, but I'd have my own to overcome that. And I always taught classes of some kind because I like dance. But and now I just do more walking and get outside, and always get outside and allow yourself to get sun, you know, look at the sun. Who told you that you're going to go blind if you look at the sun? It's just difficult to do, but you can kind of do it out of your, that's where you get this vitamin D. I think again, you got to question everything they've ever told us, because that rat poison is filled with vitamin D. That's why it's called D something or other. Anyway, who knew? I think our bodies can fight off so much stuff, so much poison. I mean, just look how they try so hard to poison us with the air, with the food, and we still somehow are here. But, you know, it's a fine line, because I don't want to live here forever. I'm not trying to have life extension. I don't even understand those kind of conversations, how to live here forever. But this is what this place tells you. And again, that's why I'm trying to explain to you, it's hell. They told you a different version of hell, and you won't even be able to wrap your head around it if you're fully indoctrinated and you're fully brainwashed to what they all wanted us all to believe. Hell is, Google it. AI will show you. It's burning sulfur and fire, and that's where you're going to spend eternity when you get out of this place. Now, I guess the Mormons, I don't follow any religion, but I've learned a lot about different ones over these past 6 years. They believe this place is purgatory. I would believe that more than I would believe anything else. Like, what else is it? Why do these Christians all want to be raptured if it isn't hell? They clearly hate it and they want out of here. They're not looking for life extension here. They're looking for a rescue. See, they covered all their bases. When you're looking for a rescue, you get online every day and you say, oh boy, we're getting raptured. It's going to be any day now. What does that cause you to do in the grand scheme of things? Nothing. Because you're just waiting, hoping nobody bothers you until you get picked up. See, I have my own interpretation of the Bible. I am not here to teach you anything, to make you believe what I believe. I don't have any interest in doing that. I just encourage you to do your own research. I don't know why people too can't just let you have your own beliefs, why they feel like they have to debate you and argue, and you know, you want to debate a book who you don't even know who wrote it, who put it together, and overall of it is still these these 300 individuals or 300 reptiles or whatever they are that are running this place. And the whole point of this place is for you to figure it out, to decode it. And everybody's going to have a different way of doing that. It's going to be based on your level of intelligence, your life experience, your age, the way you were raised, your ethnicity, whether you're male or female. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. All these things are going to play into the way you perceive this world. But the one thing I know for sure is that 2/3 here are not like me. And the other third are all over the world. There are places, we're supposed to believe all these maps they presented to us, right? How do we know they're real? I think a lot of these people that disappear, like I knew, and I confirmed it, that Kirk isn't dead. And this is why it was really hard for his wife to act sad, because really she's not a good actress, obviously. And then for her to try to express to you that she feels, she misses him and he's dead, but he's really not, because she knows, these things are all skits that are played out in front of you. And then we're supposed to believe them all. And if you're a good person, you're going to believe it. Like you believe everybody's like you. This is how most of us go through our life. If you come, from above and you have a spirit of God, you're a triune being, you probably went through your life naive and you just think, if somebody said that, that's the truth. And then you get to my age and you're like, pretty much everything I'm ever told is a lie. Every single thing. And then if you are reiterating something that you've heard that's a lie, you're lying too. So I question every single thing. Every single thing. They can't mess with you anymore when you finally wake up. They can still kill you. They can still imprison you. They can still lie about you. They can still shame you publicly. They can do all kinds of stuff to make your life miserable. They can fire you. They can, no, but some of your worst enemies, the most evil people you'll ever know in your life are in your blood relations. They're just straight up evil. Because doesn't it tell us that in the Bible? That you will hate mother, brother, sister, mother, all that? We didn't come for a kumbaya. We came to set the captives free and give eyes to the blind and ears to the deaf. So maybe you can jar their remembrance if they watch one of your videos and go, yeah, this place doesn't seem right. Nothing's ever really worked out for me, but it always works out for them. And they're scumbags. Why? And we just don't encroach. We don't tread on other people naturally. We just walk around, keep moving. And I'll tell you what, it's a good thing if you stay in shape so you can run when they come for you. I'm not kidding. Because this thing's real and they know where you are. I don't care what country I go to when I'm traveling. There will be an American Karen battle beast. Comes out of nowhere and wants to talk to me or educate me or tell me something I should or shouldn't do. And I'm telling you, because I have no tolerance for it anymore, I even see them moving, starting to move, that big giant ass that they're wielding. And I'm sorry, you guys, I don't mean to come down on fat people, but overall, America's fat. And I'm just calling what I see. I spend all this time watching videos from Vietnam, and maybe I'll run one in the background while I'm talking here, that I love watching. And just their day-to-day, what they do, they plant food, they harvest food, they keep their babies with them all day long. They don't go to a nursery, they don't leave it at child care. That contrasted to listening to an American, I can't believe how much health care costs, I can't believe. And you know what, the whole time I was growing up, it was the same. I could never afford anything. I never got any real financial traction. And you never knew if it was going to last anyway until I was in my late 30s. So it's just the internet, they just feel like they shouldn't have to suffer or something. I don't know. Why do you need health insurance? For them, it's just a given. Like that glassy look in their eye. Health insurance went up $1,000. What am I going to do with a family of 3, 4? One income. What are we going to do? I don't know. I don't care. Get rid of the health insurance. What do you need it for? I don't understand. Explain to me why you need health insurance. Why do you need to keep this industrial medical complex going that literally is there to kill us? I don't get it. But, and then what else do they have to have? They have to have medical, they have to have housing. Yeah, you may have to go live in your car. God, I was always moving when I was younger. I could never afford anything. I remember my rent was $250 a month. I couldn't afford it. It was always a struggle to try to figure it out. 2, 3 jobs at any given time. But I guess this generation is not supposed to struggle. I don't know. And, but health insurance, you got to understand how evil insurance is. It's banking on something going wrong. Okay, it's very much common sense, okay? How do doctors make money? Do they make money by making you well? Is that like a retainer that you're paying, like an attorney to have on retainer for when things go sideways, that you're just paying for your health? See, it's a real oxymoron. There's nothing about health where they're concerned. And, but if you're fully brainwashed and fully controlled, you believe all this stuff. And maybe that's what ties Americans together. Their belief in statism, their belief in how you should live, how you should present yourself. Even if you're a fraud, you want to appear to be, I'm so happy on my Facebook, we just went to Hawaii, and now we're gonna go over here. Here's us walking our dog, and this is us doing everything right all the time. We never have a down day, we never get sad, we never get mad, and that, it's impossible. And yeah, the other thing too, we're supposed to be born a sinner here. Who said? So a lot of the stuff in the Bible is erroneous and it's bullshit. But if you don't have the Holy Spirit, you can't figure it out. What is the Holy Spirit? Holy Spirit is where you're connected to the omnipotent, all-knowing Creator. And what that gives you, it gives you the ability to discern truth. The Holy Spirit, I don't know where, maybe I'll put the scriptures in the description when I put this video up. The Holy Spirit reveals all truth. All truth. And then in John 8:44, my go-to, Jesus, the Messiah at the time, you're a Messiah seed. The Messiah said, you are from a different father. You have no truth in you. So if you can't discern truth, you can't discern that health insurance isn't the thing to have, all these different things that we're faced with, then you have not the Holy Spirit. Because if you had the Holy Spirit, he would reveal all truth to you. You see, it's very simple. It's very simple. God is not complicated. This place is complicated because it's hell. And everything conflicts. Everything is different all the time. Every day, all the time. And we're not sinners. We're not born sinners. Everything this church, from the Roman Empire, from the Vatican, and then, see, if it was true, there wouldn't be 40,000 different denominations, different flavors. Causes more division than anything else in the world is religion. Shouldn't it bring people together? Shouldn't there be some commonality? You believe in God, I believe in God, isn't that enough? No, it's not enough. You don't have the right skin color, perhaps. It can be any number of things. You're a woman, and you're not in a harem. Unbelievable. Anyway, so I like it. I think it's funny. Is that guy named Teal or something? And he was asked, do you think we should keep the humans I forget how it was phrased, human beings going, right? I forget how he has. And he's like, well, it's a long pause. It's kind of like, why would you want to live here forever? Like, I don't get that. I honestly don't. I think that if you die when you're young, only the good die young is the saying, right? And the longer you have to stay here, what's good about it? What's pleasant? Getting old? I saw this meme and I looked at it for a minute and clicked on it, and it was this really ugly old man, because you're old now, you're like 90 plus and you're ugly. Nothing good comes after 90. And he's like, this is how you keep going. This is how you maintain longevity. And then he starts talking about some health stuff. And I'm like, what are you trying to, I don't get it. Why would you still want to be here, especially now? I don't get it. You'll never sell me on wanting to live in this place forever. There's nothing in it I want. There's nobody I want to meet. I don't give a shit about it. It's horrible. It's not where I come from. It's not. And did you see where all these young people on TikTok and stuff were saying that they were getting blood screenings done for any number of things, even for a job, I guess. They have to have a blood test done. And they get the results, and I guess they're testing them for HIV, and it's showing them positive for HIV, and they're like, what? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all starting to show now. So that's in the medicine, that's in the potpourri, that's in the elixir. It is. That's what Fauci and Collins worked on in the 80s. That whole hoax and spoof and nightmare for people. See, that was all the government. It's interesting how the government goes from, one generation to another, and they're all against people that are, of the same sex orientation. And then they swing the pendulum all the way to the other side. That's done on purpose, because if the government approves of your lifestyle, you're going to support the government, right? And anything they do, anything they present to the populace. That's why I don't really understand what makes a person an American. I didn't choose to be born in America. I just showed up here. Well, why would I have pride in it if I don't agree with most of the stuff that goes on here? I don't agree with how the homeless, or I don't agree in the disparity of wealth. And why are we listening to people that have stolen all the wealth? They don't do it by, natural ways. They don't come into this money. They steal it from us. And then I'm supposed to believe in this nation when the guy next to me won't stand up and say, yeah, this is all a problem. We need to fight back. We need to do something to stop it, the injustice. In 6 years, I've seen no justice. My whole life, actually. But in 6 years, I've seen no justice, just grilling and probing, grilling and probing. They get their, these different senators, they just get, on their stage for a few minutes, get to read the rhetoric, and then they all go home. Probably all go to lunch together. The guy they were grilling and probing, and they all hang out. There's no difference between the red and the blue. That's why they're all wearing purple. Remember? Because it's merging it all together. They're showing you in your face how dumb we are, that we can't see the difference. There is no difference. They just want us to fight one another. So what is our unity? That's what I want to know. Like, what is the thing in America that makes us unified? Is it the belief in God? Is it Christianity? Is it freedom? There's an interesting word. When are you actually free? Again, everybody out there just talks about the surface because they don't understand how the money works. They don't know that we're enslaved. Why do we think we have to go to work? Do you remember being little and wondering why you weren't born with a silver spoon? why you had to go to work, why you didn't have enough money for lunch if you didn't when you went to school, in grade school, why you only had one pair of shoes and the girl next to you had 12, why you wanted to play the violin but you had a broken string and your mom was too busy, had to work, she didn't have time to go get you a string for your violin. This kid has 3 violins they can choose from, but they're not going to share so that you can go to your lesson. What is it about America that's so fucking great? And I'm not trying to be anti-American, I just really want to know. Look at the average, Joe on the freeway, all the road rage. People actually killing someone for cutting them off. Is that American? I know it's McDonald's, right? Our belief in McDonald's and fast food. I don't know. I really don't. I don't understand what. But again, you're going to see that fall apart. This federal government and states are going to start taking their state back. So you're going to have that kind of statism. And but again, it's the same type of people that don't agree on pretty much anything. But think about it. What are they protecting us from? They create the problem, then they sit back in the ivory tower, light a cigar, wait for our reaction to the problem they created. And then they come back in now with the solution, which is what we're all watching now. Anyway, it's just amazing, even now, that there's so few that are awake. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. That's all for now. I'll see you later. Goodbye. Over and out.